Meyer, Joseph, and Shahidi here in the 7th. 1-1. Meyer lifts this into right field. Jordan moving back, looking up, still looking. Bombs away! We're tied at 4 here on the KVSC Sports Stream. Matt Meyer. Hart has shown bunt down the third base line at times in this situation. 2-1, and indeed he'll push it towards the mound. Here's Flint, slides, barehand throw to first. What a play by Blake Flint to get St. Cloud State out of the inning. Holy cow!
In a season full of memories, the 2019 St. Cloud State Huskies made their 5th straight appearance in the NCAA Central Region Tournament, all while going 41-14 with a 26-8 conference record. This is a story of the 2019 St. Cloud State Huskies.
2-2. Lined into a great diving stop by Jordan Joseph. My goodness, JJ, what a play.
Our story begins in the fall of 2018. In September, the Huskies began their traditional Red-White World Series, a 7-game fall ball staple that saw plenty of development for the talented team.
My favorite fall memory was probably the Red-White series that we do every fall, where the assistant coaches get to draft teams, and then we play a best-of-7 series, usually with a steak dinner or something else on the line for the winning team. It's always just a fun 2 weeks where we really don't practice much, and we just kind of play baseball, see what everyone has, all the new guys, and how some of the older guys have improved. And it's kind of like a mini tryout in the fall, so it's really competitive and a lot of fun baseball.
In the midst of the fun on the field, SCSU also brought joy off the field, again partnering with the Miracle League of Central Minnesota, delivering smiles, laughs, and home runs to their cherished friends. The 12th annual 100-inning marathon was a hit in October.
You know, it's been a lot of fun. We haven't been able to get outside, so we're just playing a lot of wiffle ball. Just everyone's working on their wiffle ball swings, just getting ready for a great season. You know, I started off a little slow trying to figure out the swing. After that, just rope after rope all over the field. I had a 3 for 4, 2 doubles. You know, you just had to see it deep, drop the head on it, and run the bases.
Let's get the rep.
Another St. Cloud State baseball tradition returned on Halloween with the Huskies Halloween practice, filled with wild costumes that surely drove the coaching staff bananas. Winter break came to an end. 2019 began, and the St. Cloud State baseball team was itching to get their highly anticipated season started. With opening day right around the corner on February 1st in Houston, Texas, the Huskies were all smiles as practice began.
Yelling and screaming, so we're all ready to go. I think the senior leadership will help a lot. We kind of know what we have in mind, what we want to do. I think along the way we're just going to have a lot of fun, and the wins should kind of take care of themselves. I'd like to think we're pretty solid on both ends. We have a strong staff this year, a lot of seniors coming back, but at the same time we have a really experienced defense and lineup as well. So I don't see a huge hole in really either aspect of our lineup.
Yeah, it's obviously be the first team to make it to the World Series, and just take it one step at a time, I think, is kind of our goal, and everything will take care of itself at the end.
The 2019 edition of the St. Cloud State baseball team seemed poised to become one of the best teams in the history of the program. Led by 12th-year head coach Pat Dolan, the Huskies roster carried 14 seniors and a whopping 6 All-Americans. Starting pitcher Dominic Osting, Sheldon Mix, Cal Giese, and Blake Flint. Reliever Zach Walls and right fielder Mitch Malik. The battle-tested veteran team had more than addressed their needs during the offseason, landing key transfers Torrin Shahidi, Najee Gaskins, Blake Flint, Matt Quaid, and Lenny Walker to go with a highly talented freshman class. Huskies baseball opened their regular season at the Houston Winter Invitational, held at Minute Maid Park, home of the Houston Astros.
Getting to play at Minute Maid Park again was always an honor. It was just as special the second time as it was the first time. Not every day you get to play at a field like that and that caliber. And, we got the tour and explored the grounds a little bit, and it was a really cool experience.
My favorite memory from last year, you just got to go with that Houston trip to start out the year. We went down there, played in a beautiful ballpark. Not a lot of people get to play in a major league stadium, so that's something I'll definitely cherish for the rest of my life. And the teams that we did beat down there, we went 3-0. We beat the number 5 team in the country, number 15 team in the country, and then another good team. I think they were receiving votes. But that really set the tone for our season and set the expectation. So that was a lot of fun.
Getting the chance to open up at Minute Maid was an awesome experience. It's something that you dream about doing ever since you're a little kid watching games on the TV. So coming out of there with 3 big wins over some quality opponents is something I'll always remember.
I think my favorite memory from the 2019 season had to be that hot tub review from Houston. We're looking at 30th floor. We could see inside a Minute Maid. A little drizzle coming down. It was nice and warm. That was probably my favorite memory. But in all seriousness, it was the trip to Houston. Really enjoyed that with the guys. And I thought just being able to play in Minute Maid and taking batting practice was pretty sweet.
What's up, everybody? We're hot tub time, Houston, Texas. We're on the rooftop of the Magnolia Hotel. Look at this beauty. Look at the skyscrapers. My gosh, this is awesome. Coming off a Husky win this morning. Huskies 2-0. Huskies, go Huskies. Minute Maid Park right there. This is an absolute beauty right here. Let's go check out the hot tub, see what it's all about. Wow. All right, rooftop season, 1 splash. Everybody knows the rules. Wow. Water's super nice. hitting that 102 temp for an outdoor hot tub. Awesome. Jets. Wow. Jets are as firm as Cal Kesey's fastball today. Hum it. Really nice. Max cap. Max cap. Let's check it out. No max cap. We'll probably look at about 6 to 9 people. It's small, but it'll definitely do the job on the rooftop. Houston, Texas. Magnolia. Whew. Houston, we do not have a problem. 8.7.
SCSU dominated their competition, standing as the lone team to go 3-0 at the Invitational, including wins over number 6 Texas A&M Kingsville and number 20 Central Missouri. The Huskies staff combined to strike out 32 and hold opponent batters to a 200 average over 27 innings of work in Houston, pitching to the tune of a 1.33 earned run average. Sheldon Mix earned the win over Central Missouri in his first start following a 2017 injury that robbed him of nearly 2 full seasons, going 6 frames and allowing just 2 earned runs while striking out 5 and walking none. Fellow All-American southpaw Cal Kesey made his return from injury in relief against Tarleton State, working a 1-2-3 inning and touching 90 miles per hour. Newcomers Shahidi and Gaskins each homered in their debut weekend.
Oh, pink jacket! It's gone! It's gone! It's gone! Oh! 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 Pink jacket! Pink jacket!
My favorite memory from that year, I would have to say, would be the Houston trip. Just overall, great experience, getting to stay downtown in Houston at the nice hotel and, play 3 games on a big league field is not something that every college program gets to do. So we were grateful that we got to do it, and obviously we played, pretty much our best baseball of the year that weekend, and we beat 3 really good teams. So I think that's probably my favorite memory from that year.
It's hard to just narrow it down to one favorite memory from 2019, but if I had to, I would probably say going down to Houston and playing in Minute Maid Stadium again for the second time in my 4 years. It's not every day you get to play on an MLB field against that kind of competition, and to end that weekend 3-0, it's just up there and was a great start to that 2019 season.
Minute Maid was a sweet experience, getting to play there twice and going 6-0 both times we were down there. Made it even more special. It was just such a cool experience to get to hit BP and obviously play games on a pro field. It's a whole different world with, just being inside that stadium and playing on such a well taken care of field. And obviously having success there made it awesome as well.
Staff ace Dominic Osting earned NSIC Pitcher of the Week honors for his 11th strikeout win over Kingsville in the opener, and the Huskies leapt to number 14 in the National Collegiate Baseball Writers of America's national poll.
Yeah, it was awesome both times. I remember 4 years ago, it was obviously my role was a little bit different on the team, but it was still very, very cool. I was lucky enough to play both times we got to go down there. One thing I've kind of noticed, just from obviously being able to play down there my freshman year, then having that kind of gap and then being able to play again, is you don't really think about it all that much in the moment. I mean, you realize, I'm playing on a major league field and this is really cool. But then once, you're done with it, you get home and maybe it's like, July and you're watching a baseball game or watching SportsCenter and you see people playing at Minute Maid in our case, and it's like, wow, that is pretty neat. I got to play there. I got to pitch there. I got to be in those dugouts exactly where those guys are, like Justin Verlander doing his 3 swipes thing before he starts pitching. It's just those little things that probably, at least I think I'll remember I would like to think for the rest of my life.
SCSU's next stop was Joplin, Missouri, for a 3-game affair with UW Parkside and Missouri S&T. Mix made another statement in his second start of the year, tossing a 9-inning complete game gem in which he punched out 8 against the Rangers.
Post game here with Sheldon Mix. Sheldon delivered a 9-inning complete game here, only 2 runs and 8 strikeouts. Talk a little bit about what was working for you on the mound.
Honestly, not much toward until the last 3 or 4 innings there. But Torn and Meyer did a great job in the defense and offense, just really pulling it together for me.
We talk a little about the run support. You have this robust offense, gets out and puts up 5 runs for you. How does that help you as a pitcher with that cushion?
That's awesome. Like I said, the offense and the defense behind me as a pitcher and as a staff is unbelievable on this team, and it'll carry us a long way this year.
Huskies off to a 5-0 start. What does this start mean for the rest of the year and momentum-wise for the Huskies?
Yeah, it's good. Don't let the highs get too high and the lows too low, but it's nice to be 5-0, that's for sure.
All right, thanks and good luck, Sean.
Thank you.
The Huskies went 2-1 in Joplin and moved to number 11 in the polls, heading back home to Minnesota before their early March appearance at the Tucson Invitational Games. Thriving in the Arizona heat, St. Cloud State caught fire with a 7-1 showing, including 4 ever-important Central Region wins. Arizona native Lenny Walker earned NCBWA Central Region and NSIC Player of the Week honors after hitting .515 with an OPS 2 points shy of 1,300 across the 8 games. Walker doubled 5 times, belted his first collegiate home run, scored 7 times, and drove in 14. The Huskies' 17-3 romp of Bemidji State. Walker and senior shortstop Jordan Joseph each blasted a grand slam, the first St. Cloud State multi-grand slam game since 1973.
Go, Lenny! Come on! Get out! Yeah!
Other notables from Tucson included Riley Ahern and Zach Walls earning their first wins as a Husky. Blake Flint tossing 7 scoreless innings against Benedictine Mesa. Mix winning both his starts and tying a career high with 12 strikeouts against Minot State. Senior Ryan Wesley returning from injury with a scoreless inning of relief and 1 big hit from a reliever. Yes, reliever, Nathan Strobel.
One of my favorite memories from the 2019 baseball season was the random hitting practice sessions where Torn and Dylan would come over. But instead of hitting, we'd pretty much just end up playing random walk-up music and going over our pre-at-bat routine. Typically consisted mostly of Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue.
A 12-2 start skyrocketed the Huskies to number 6 in the national rankings as they prepared to open Northern Sun action with arch-rival Minnesota State Mankato at a neutral site in Omaha. Dom Osting struck out a jaw-dropping 8 straight Mavericks as a part of a 6-inning, 10-strikeout performance in the opener, while Blake Flint cruised through 7 in his Game 3 victory. After moving up 2 more spots in the polls to number 4, SCSU made their first trek to Mattston, Wisconsin to take on Winona State in a midweek set. The Huskies swept Winona, with Cal Giese earning his first win off injury in his home state, tossing 5 shutout frames and receiving a solo homer from high school teammate Mitch Malik to propel the Huskies to a 2-0 victory in the finale.
Yeah, Meyer called a great game. We were thrown inside a lot, and with the wind helping at my back, it was pretty easy to get ground balls and fly balls.
Obviously, coming back, rehabbing, getting back on the starting rotation. Can we talk a little bit about that too?
Yeah, it's a great feeling to be back in the starting rotation. I've been working hard to get back to where I was a few years ago, and our team is really special this year, and I really hope that we can get past that regional bump and make it to the World Series this year.
Talk about your run support a little bit. Big home run from Mitch Malik, fellow Plover native. We talk about maybe that run support and how that helps you as a pitcher.
Yeah, he's been on a hot streak. I think he's been hitting probably 600 lately. But yeah, that home run really helped us get an edge, and Butler came in and shut the door.
Alrighty. Domination continued to be the modus operandi for the Huskies in conference play as they outscored Sioux Falls 39-8 in 3 games and Upper Iowa 32-5 in 2 while sweeping both teams. The 21-3 start set the stage for a thrilling 2-game set in Collegeville against the defending Division II national champion Augustana. The Huskies lost in 2 dramatic extra inning games, then split with Wayne State College in the following midweek. Moving to number 9 in the polls, SCSU rebounded by sweeping Concordia St. Paul in a 2-game set. Blake Flint carried a perfect game into the 6th against the Golden Bears as he and Austin combined for 11 innings of 1-run baseball. Now number 5, St. Cloud State's willingness to get gritty showed itself in their return trip to Boston for a 3-game set with Minnesota Duluth. The Huskies used the snow shoveling techniques developed through many years of dealing with Midwest winters to clear off not 1, but 2 fields, with little help from the always capable SESU parents. Following 6 hours of shoveling, St. Cloud State plowed UMD off the field that very evening in a 6-2 win that included a Caden Harris home run.
Post-game here with Caden Harris. Caden, your day started at 6:30 with the departure on the bus over here to Boston. Then can we talk about where it came from there too?
Yeah, I mean, we were just out here grinding. I thought I left JUCO 3 years ago, but turns out you still gotta, show off that hard work, and just had to kind of grind it out this morning and get the field ready to play. I wanted to have a big day today, so had to make it happen.
Can we talk about a little bit of your role during the shoveling process? Were you a scooper, a tarp guy, or can we talk about your personal strategy?
I was actually a part of the 8-man line that turned out to really be the MVP of the whole day. Got this system going that was just really beneficial for the whole team.
And obviously, we want to talk about MVP of the day, a huge home run, and some quality approaches out of you at the plate today.
Yeah, that was fun. I felt like I was controlling my at-bats all day and, taking bad pitches, swinging at good ones. So it was nice. You get a nice natural batter's eye out there with all the trees, and, you see the ball well, and that's what happens. So it was a good day, a lot of fun.
All right, thanks and good luck, Caden.
2 more wins to clinch a sweep of the Bulldogs came the following day, and SCSU returned home to sweep Bemidji State in a 2-gamer, extending their winning streak to 8 and moving back to number 4 in the polls. Dominic Osting and Matt Osterberg each threw brilliantly, with the former tossing a complete game shutout and the latter covering 8 scoreless innings in a career-best outing. St. Cloud State next took 2 of the 3 games from Minnesota Crookston on the road, improving their record to 31-7. Jordan Joseph earned NSIC Player of the Week honors for his work against Bemidji and Crookston, hitting .619 with 8 RBIs over the week. Next, the Huskies had a date with Minot State, while their ace had a date with destiny.
Sit down! There's the new program record. 275 career strikeouts in a St. Cloud State uniform.
Dominic Osting further entrenched himself as an all-time Huskies legend by passing Logan Burr with his 275th career strikeout, going on to fan 7 in his 6 scoreless innings. SCSU swept the Beavers in the Scott Ewell Bowl, then dropped what would be the second series of their season in a weekend 3-game set with Northern State. Next up, Senior Day. With their 14-man senior class, the Huskies had to be extra careful with their traditional father-son first pitch.
Who's gonna hit someone?
That could be dangerous. This could be bad. Roll it out. This is your pitch.
One of my favorite memories from the 2019 baseball season was actually Senior Day at Joe Faber Field. It started off with all the seniors being introduced with their parents in front of the fans, and then the senior dads throwing out the first pitch to their son, which has always been a fun tradition. Shout out Craig Giese throwing an absolute missile. We went on to beat Coach Gaines' alma mater, Northern State, 6-0. And right after the game, we ended up having a little celebration get-together with a lot of the parents and players at one of the baseball houses. Just shared a lot of laughs, told a lot of stories. It's just one of those nights in St. Cloud that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. One piece of advice for any future Huskies: do not forget to buy a fire permit.
I would say all of my favorite memories from the 2019 season are just those moments spent with the guys and then everybody's families, especially being on the road so much, bus life, hotel life, some fun in embracing the grind there. Also, one of my favorite moments from the 2019 season had to be family and senior day last year, having my dad throw out the first pitch with all the other dads and being able to catch a strike was a fun memory and something I will always remember and cherish from that season.
My favorite memory of the 2019 season was probably senior day. Seeing all the parents and players who had worked hard for 4 or 5 years coming to a pinnacle at senior day, and the emotions that were going on, and just being able to do that with my parents and my family, and seeing all of the rest of my teammates doing the same thing was something very special, and it meant a lot to me, and it was just nice seeing everybody's family and the support that we had as a team.
The Huskies shut out UMary in both games of their series, with the two-headed monster of Austin and Osterberg tossing a combined 13 scoreless innings. Against UMary, Austin tallied his 9th career complete game and the 4th shutout of his career. Senior catcher Torin Shahidi led the Huskies to a season-ending series win over SMSU, earning NSIC Player of the Week honors by hitting .541 on the week with 3 home runs. Ending the regular season as the number 14 team in the country with a sparkling 38-10 record, 26-8 in conference play, the Huskies look ahead to the NSIC tournament held at home in St. Cloud.
Dom kicks and goes. Sit down. He got him on a changeup. Freezing jelly. And we move on to the bottom half of one. Dominic Austin with a 1-2-3 first.
Back on their own stomping grounds, the Huskies romped Minnesota Crookston 14-0 in the strength of home runs by Matt Meyer, Torin Shahidi, Mitch Malik, and Ethan Ibarra, while Austin delivered a tremendous start.
First pitch, Meyer lifts this high into left field. Very well struck. Jorgensen going back, looking up. Bombs away! It's a first inning 3-run blast for Matt Meyer, and St. Cloud State is on the board 3-0. Huskies here in the opening round of the NSIC tournament. Matt Meyer leaves this place with home run number 6. The first offering here to Torin. Shahidi clobbers one high into the night sky to deep left field. Jorgensen looking up. Bombs away! It's a grand slam for St. Cloud State's Torin Shahidi. And the Huskies lead it 13-0 over Minnesota Crookston. A moonshot grand slam to left field. Torin Shahidi with home run number 6 of 2019.
Second team, right? Let's go! Let's go!
Here's number 10 on the 1-2 to Griffin Fossey. Sit down ball game. The Haskamp changeup down and away finishes off a St. Cloud State opening round victory, 14-0 over Minnesota Crookston.
A good old-fashioned St. Cloud State, Minnesota State Mankato battle was next on the Huskies' postseason docket, and boy did it deliver. Early on, that man struck on a hanging curveball.
Count is even at 2-2 from Ludwig to Harris. Caden unloads on one high to left field, looking back on a Denzer at the wall. Bombs away! Caden Harris with a solo shot to left field puts St. Cloud State up 2-0. There's the first earned run of the ball game off of John Ludwig. Caden Harris sends one out of here. And the Huskies are up 2-0. Home run number 3 of 2019 for Caden Harris.
After the Mavericks rallied to lead 4-3 in the 7th, Matt Meyer delivered when the Huskies needed him most.
Meyer, Joseph, and Shahidi here in the 7th. 1-1. Meyer lifts this into right field. Jordan moving back, looking up, still looking. Bombs away! We're tied at 4 here on the KVSC Sports Stream. Matt Meyer. Three and 0, Nordby to Butler. Right-hander kicks and goes. Butler pulls back and takes ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to St. Cloud State's closer. Slider, sit down, ball game. Butler finishes off his 5th save of 2019. This one in the NSIC tournament. For the first time in his career, Matt Butler has earned a save, drew a walk, and scored a run in the same game for St. Cloud State. The Huskies with a 12-4 victory over Minnesota State Mankato. They move on here in the NSIC tournament.
Despite falling in their next 2 games, St. Cloud State had all but assured themselves of another Central Region tournament berth. A packed house at the Ultimate watched as the Huskies were given their next destination, a trip to Missouri to take part in the Warrensburg Central Region tournament. Headed to their 5th straight regional, St. Cloud State knew not to take their opportunity to keep playing for granted, making countless more memories along the way.
For me, it really doesn't come down to one play or one game. I always loved the regional week. It kind of just seemed like the anticipation, like the week prior, the conference tournament, everything kind of leading up to, where are we going to be playing, who are we going to be playing, where do we get to go. What do we get to eat? Everything was just fun because I was lucky enough to have my parents come. It seemed like a lot of other kids were that lucky too. We'd get to stay in for the most part, halfway decent hotel. Get to eat some pretty good meals. The games are always great, obviously, because, there's just one game going at a time, so it seemed like all the other teams were there watching. It was sort of a win or go home, obviously, so there's always that aspect from the baseball side. But, yeah, for me, the 2019 regionals would be my favorite memory. Obviously, it doesn't end how you want all the time, but, again, I think it's something that we all look back on, win or lose, as something that we're going to really treasure for a long time.
One of the best teams to play at SCSU put one more finishing touch on their careers with one of the biggest postseason comebacks in program history. Faced with elimination at the hands of Missouri Southern, the Huskies found themselves down 9-3 after 5 complete. Just as they had all season, SCSU fought right back. It started in the 6th when Mitch Mallett cut the deficit to 5. In the 7th, Caden Harris ripped a 2-run triple, while Ethan Ibarra and Matt Meyer each singled in runs, making it a 1-run game. In the 8th, Huskies fans know what happened next.
Payoff pitch. Torrin lifts his high to left field. Hunter moving back, looking up, still looking up at the wall. Bombs away. We are tied at 9. Torrin Shahidi sends one out to left. It's a 9-9 game. St. Cloud State brings it back from down 6 for Torrin Shahidi, knotting this game up at 9. It's his 7th of 2019.
The biggest thing about it is that I got an opportunity with St. Cloud State that just supported me all year through all the tough times. Any situation I had that I wasn't thrilled with, they still supported me and cared about me. And I finally got the opportunity to pay them back and just got a pitch to hit and went over the fence to tie it up late in the game. And the coolest part of the whole thing is I look back and see it on video and you see the dugout just going nuts, not really caring who did it as long as someone did it, because for a little bit there was no hope there. It was pretty bleak that our season would be done, and luckily I got a pitch I could handle, hit it over the fence, and we end up winning that game just the St. Cloud State way. You find a way. And with some of the great guys we had around us, it was a whole lot of fun.
Following Shahidi's blast, Aaron Hammond and Ethan Ibarra reached on back-to-back singles, and Najee Gaskins drew a walk before a wild pitch scored Hammond, completing the comeback and giving the Huskies a 10-9 lead. Not to be lost in the story of this game, St. Cloud State had turned to the legendary Sheldon Mix in relief, and the senior gave the program every last bullet that he had. The lefty gutted through 8 innings of work against one of the best lineups in the country, striking out 6 and walking none to earn the final win of his incredible career. While the Husky season ended in Warrensburg at the regional, 2019 will forever stand as one of the most memorable campaigns in program history. At the conclusion of the season, St. Cloud State's pitching staff included 4 starters with at least 20 collegiate victories under their belt: Dominic Osting, Sheldon Mix, Cal Giese, and Blake Flint. Mitch Malik and Osting were named first-team All-NSIC selections. Matt Butler, Torrin Shahidi, Najee Gaskins, and Jordan Joseph earned second-team All-recognition, while Joseph and Matt Meyer won Gold Gloves. Malik, Joseph, and Meyer received honorable mention All-Central Region nods as well, while Osting was named to the first team. Osting capped an illustrious career by earning honorable mention NCBWA All-American honors, going 25-4 over his career with a 2.83 career ERA and establishing a new program career mark with 291 strikeouts. 2-time All-American and fellow Huskies legend and future Hall of Famer Sheldon Mix ended his career with a 25-8 record, tossing an incredible 243 innings to the tune of a 2.33 ERA, striking out 215 and walking just 26 batters. The vaunted M&M boys Matt Meyer and Mitch Malik became the 10th and 11th Huskies all-time to join the 200 hit club. So far, 2 members of the 2019 Huskies have gone on to play professional baseball. Najee Gaskins was selected by the San Francisco Giants in the 20th round of the 2019 Major League Baseball Amateur Draft, while Caden Harris signed with the Joliet Slammers on the Frontier League. In 2019, St. Cloud State baseball won 41 games. They spent nearly the entire season ranked in the top 25. They appeared in their 5th straight regional. They continued to set new standards for one of the very best programs in the country. Records may be broken. New standards may be set. The paths we take may change, but the memories will always remain.
towards the sun.